Hello guys, this is Tanvir Hashmi with Simple Economics. In my previous video, I mentioned the relationship between average cost and marginal cost briefly, but I think there is something more you need to know about the relationship between the two. So I'm going to show you this with the help of a diagram, because you know diagram speaks 1,000 times more than the words. So here you go to understand the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. So this time I took cost here because we're dealing with cost only. As you know, average cost is U-shaped based on law of diminishing return in short run, but due to economies or diseconomies of scale in the long run. And many books call it ATC, so let's go with ATC, average total cost. And marginal cost, actually, which is also U-shaped, cut AC at its minimum. And why this happened and why this relationship exists, let's talk about this. As you can see that when MC is falling, AC is falling steeply. But after point, let me call point A, after point A, MC is rising, but AC is still falling. And why this happens? Because mostly you think that when MC rises, it will make AC to rise too. That is true, but only after point B. Reason why AC is still falling when MC is rising between point A and B is that every additional output is resulting into a cost number which is still lower than the average. And since the additional number is lower than the average, it will make average still to fall. And the best example, I take it from cricket. Any batter who has an average of, let's say, 40 per innings, if in his next innings he's making a score more than 40, his average would rise, because marginal is bigger than the average. And that's what you see happening here. Between A and B, even though marginal is rising, but still marginal is below average, so it will make your average to fall. But this is not happening after point B. As you can see, after point B, marginal is bigger than the average. And this is what you can see here in this diagram, that if the batter score, let's say 50 in his next innings, you will see this average start rising. And that's what is happening here after point B. Since marginal is bigger than average, it will make average to start rising. So why does it cut at the minimum? Simple reason, that as marginal is below average, it will make average to fall. After point B, marginal is bigger than average, so it will make average to rise. So they can only meet at one point, which is point B, where average cost is equal to your marginal cost. And exactly the same relationship happen if I take it as average variable cost instead of average total cost. And the minimum cost cut average variable cost also at its minimum. The only main difference between the relationship of MC and AVC and MC and ATC is that the minimum of average total cost comes later than the minimum of average variable cost. Let me show you this. I'm going to try to show you this. I hope this may not be perfect, but it makes still some sense. So you can see that the minimum of average total cost is later than the minimum of average variable cost, let me call it point C. Reason for this difference is, as you know, average total cost is equal to average fixed cost and average variable cost. And since average fixed cost always falls, it is like this. Unlike total fixed cost, which is a fixed number, average fixed cost always fall. And this average fixed cost will make average total cost to fall longer than average variable cost, which do not or which does not include average fixed costs, right? So this is why the minimum of average total cost comes later than the minimum of average variable cost. The rest of the relationship is exactly the same. When marginal cost rises but still below the average, it will make average still to fall because margin is below, and then after this point or this point when margin is more than average, it will make the corresponding average also to rise. I hope you understand this relationship, and if you have questions, you can write down those in the comments box or send them to me directly. I will try to answer those. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.